So I asked you guys on my community posts, are you buying a PS5 Pro? And the post as of right now has 22 votes and 91, thank God, are saying no, that you're not buying the PS Pro. Saying things from TM Gaming like, hell no, PlayStation has gotten enough money from me, someone saying I have the RTX 3070, and someone said, with what money? And DeMello saying, MJ, we're not stupid, Sony may think we are, but we're not. I'm really thankful that my community has more common sense than a lot of other consumers, but welcome everyone back to the channel. Today, we are talking about Sony's newly released PlayStation 5 Pro that comes in at around $1,000 Canadian. Yes, $1,000 Canadian, an apparent price. That is half what I paid for my gaming PC. If you just don't buy this and then save up another $1,000, you can get a gaming PC on par with mine with an RTX 4070. An RTX 4070, one of the higher end graphics cards. You don't even need to go that far, but you can get something on that level. If you plug in the price of the PlayStation 5 Pro at $700 USD, it comes out to $970 Canadian. Add tax onto that, you are well over $1,000. Sony is charging Canadians, and I really feel bad for countries like Australia that are getting charged even more out the ass, over $1,000 for a console. And outside of the games that have the PS5 Pro treatment, that get you ray tracing at 60 FPS and 4K, there isn't really much reason to go out and buy this $1,000 console. You're not going to be getting exclusive only games for this console that can truly utilize the power of this Pro console. So yes, I'll give it that look. If you don't have a PS5 at all, and you're looking to get the best experience on the PS5 Pro, I mean, you know what? Go for it. But if you already own a PS5, I really don't see the issue or reason to own this console, because in 4 years, you're probably going to have the PS6, and it's probably going to be $500, $600. I definitely don't get the reason for current PlayStation 5 owners to go out and buy this console. At least to me, and in my opinion, I really don't see the point of this mid-gen upgrade other than just a cash grab. Just because they did it with the PS4 Pro, Sony expects people to buy this PS5 Pro just because, well, they bought PS4 Pros, why don't they buy a PS5 Pro as well, right? They want that potential 60 frames per second on GTA 6, which again, I don't personally believe that it'll run GTA 6 at 60 FPS. If it does, people are going to be buying these console in swarms, right? If you're able to play the game at 30 or 60, I guarantee, especially for a game that people have been waiting for over a decade now, people will drop that kind of money to play the game in its best form. So now I'm going to be showing you guys a few clips from Austin Evans' recent video breaking down the PS5 Pro, and just listen to this.
Specifically call out the fact that it's got an 8-core Zen 2 CPU and a 16.7 teraflop GPU. That puts it at what, 55-60% more graphics performance?
For a console that's main selling point is graphical horsepower and performance upgrades, right? Something that the base PS5 didn't have. Realistically, and in my opinion, this should have been what the base PS5 was, right? Massive graphics with some great 60 FPS, 4K, we're able to have it all, right? Ray trace mode at 4K 60. That is the potential of what the PS5 and Series X should have been. Unfortunately, they sold us that for $500 for 4K 30 with ray tracing, and now they want to sell us, sub 4K 60 with some ray tracing for $700 more.
The only things I've noticed is different on the PS5 Pro so far is if you go into the screen and video settings, there's a new 8K output mode. So I don't have an 8K TV to test with, but theoretically you can enable that. Some games will support 8K, it's kind of a small number right now, but that's technically an option. What I think is a little bit more interesting is enhancing image quality for PS4 games. So the TLDR here is that PS4 games, typically when you're running on a PS5, the PS5 slows itself down to run at the same sort of spec as a PS4, so you get the same performance. But with the PS5 Pro, you can essentially uncap it, let it run at full beams, and depending on the game, you may or may not get a little bit of extra performance, unlocked frame rate, that kind of.
The PS5 Pro having access to 8K isn't really the biggest concern for me. The biggest concern for the PS5 Pro is that, look, you can upgrade image quality forcefully. So say games could be running up to 4K. So I've seen comparisons on Twitter of people comparing Bloodborne running at, on the base PS5 on the PS5 Pro when you actually force that upgrade, which does offer some awesome, an upgraded visual quality for just having the console. Now, I have no doubt that they could have done this for the base PS5. Like, you're telling me you can't force resolution upgrades on a console that is so much more powerful than the base PS4? I don't understand that. I really feel like they probably could put that into effect on the base PS5. It just sounds stupid. But overall, being able to enhance the image quality of your games, hopefully not at the risk of frame rate, because again, you're playing on a $700 Pro console, is still good. There's no negative to that. I just feel like the base PS5 should realistically be able to do that as well. You shouldn't need to pay for a Pro model of this console to be able to increase image quality.
Of course, a digital-only console, but if you purchase the disc drive, it should theoretically just pop on like this. And then this is a disc drive I just pulled off our PS5 Slim, and there you go. And then this should pop on like this, right? You can get a quick look at what the PS5 Pro looks like with the disc drive. Wow, that's ugly. Wow, I kind of see why they didn't ship it like that. Wow, that is
also very rude.
And yes, I forgot to mention, but the PS5 Pro at $700 American and $1,000 Canadian offers no disc drive. They sell you a disc drive for $100 extra. So if you want a disc version of this console, you need to pay upwards of $800 United States currency. That is insane. Like, actually, so if you have a whole collection of PS5 disc games that you want to play enhanced, you are forced to pay another $100 for that disc drive so you can actually use those PS5 games that you paid $70 for, or in Canada, upwards of $100 for. I get it if you're on the side of, look, you don't have to buy it, it's for those people that want the best possible console experience, but there's no way that anyone could defend Sony not adding a disc drive immediately onto this console. They are making pure profit off this console. I have no doubt. I would have no doubt if they're making $100 extra on every single one of these consoles sold. There's no way. This feels like something they rushed out. It really does. All they did was increase graphical brute force performance. They didn't upgrade the CPU at all because it wouldn't make any sense to. They have bottlenecked themselves with their CPU as well. There's no way that you're going to be getting better performance massively on a lot of future games. I give it in 2 years, a lot of games will only be hitting 4K 60 because they'll be pushed so far. Yes, you can enhance PS4 games like God of War Ragnarok up to 4K 60 ray tracing because it runs on a PS4. But when we're talking about GTA 6, that CPU is still going to be limited. So there is very little chance that it is going to be running at 60 FPS on the PS5 Pro. And the disc drive isn't even the biggest problem that I have with this console, is that they have the audacity to sell you a vertical stand. They don't even include the vertical stand into the actual console or with the box. They force you to pay $30 to add a vertical stand. So if you don't want to pay that, you're only going to be putting this down horizontally or on its base. It is extremely annoying that Sony has the audacity to sell you a stand. They're literally going the way of Nintendo. When they're selling you the little cardboard box VR headset, they have gone that far. They're selling you a stand for $30. I don't understand how anyone is able to defend this and even buy it, but you will still have idiots buy it, because yes, $30 for a vertical stand instead of not buying it and showing Sony, oh look, maybe we shouldn't be separately placing the stands and the disc drives. At least in my opinion, it's just massively disappointing that people will still buy this, even if they have a PS5, and even if they have a PS5 Slim. People will own all three of these identical looking ass consoles and they'll defend it, and they'll say, yes, it was a worthwhile price, I want to play my games in the best way possible, even though the PlayStation 6 is probably coming out in less than 4 years, maybe even 5, and I have no doubt of that. The next generation of consoles is upon us, and I have no reason why someone would pay $700 or again upwards of $1,000 Canadian for this fucking console. It is insane that Sony has the audacity to not only sell you it for that price, but they also have the audacity to sell you a vertical stand. And I know I'm still just talking about that stand, but what? Who in the boardroom is like, yeah, let's sell the stand for $30 more. Let's get that little extra bit of money out of them, and then people are buying it. I am not anti-console, but I am pro-consumer, and selling a PS5 Pro for $700 to $1,000 is not pro-consumer. Selling the disc drive separately for another $100 is not pro-consumer, and selling a vertical stand for $30 instead of including it with the Pro is not pro-consumer. If you wanted my recommendation on what to spend your $700 on, literally anything else. A few years of Game Pass, PS Plus, save up for a PC, buy an RTX 40 series card, literally do anything else than buy this console. Hell, buy a PS5 Slim and an Xbox Series S if you don't have any consoles. Get best of both worlds. Or, again, just save up for a PC. And because all games eventually come to PC. But looking at the PS5 Pro, even through the lens of a PlayStation fan like I am, it's just disappointing as well. It's not even like they did much with it, right? Like, look, okay, you get a bigger SSD, and then your graphical power is a bit stronger, right? So look, we can do 60 FPS with some added features. Like, okay, anything else that the Pro console can offer me? No? What is the reason for me spending, again, and I'm going to say this one last time, $1,000 Canadian on your console when that is all you offer me? Image upgrades and 60 FPS, maybe. And even in some games, people have been finding that the game is still running really poorly in those quality modes. Like, Sony, please, get your shit together. But they won't, because people still buy their fucking consoles. But thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy, agree, disagree with me, let me know down in the comments below. But again, if you did, consider leaving a like, sharing, subscribing, if you so choose to. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.